As we're now several weeks into open enrollment, I'm sure there's executives across the country wondering, well, how are we doing? How are our enrollment numbers in comparison to the competition? Are we on target to hit the projections that we set forth as we were setting our plans and rates? Well, there's a few things that I could share with you today based on our experience working with health plans across the country in the ACA. And as standard human trends, people procrastinate. And the way that we usually see the enrollment numbers throughout the course of open enrollment, it'll start off rather hot over the first couple of days as people are excited. The open enrollment window just opened up. And then you'll see a lull period for the first several weeks of open enrollment. Now, as families are sitting around their Thanksgiving table and enjoying their turkey and a whole bunch of sides and apple pie and desserts, some questions may come up about, well, what does the next year look like? And health insurance is certainly a priority for these families as they look at what are their options coming up in January. And so at this point, there's a wake-up call and a light bulb that goes off that says, we need to go get covered. And historically, we'll always see right around Thanksgiving weekend, we'll see that significant spike in the enrollment numbers. And that'll continue just about until December 15th, which is the last day to enroll in coverage for January 1st. Now, as you know, this year's open enrollment period goes until January 15th. However, the cutoff for January 1st coverage is still December 15th. So as you're looking at where you are today versus where you may be on December 15th, stay the course. Know that the first several weeks of open enrollment are always a little bit slow. And then right after Thanksgiving, the light bulb goes off, that procrastination starts to go away. And of course, the fear of missing a deadline, everything will come up very quickly as we approach December 15th. And those last few days of open enrollment are always the most busy as it relates to enrolling in coverage for the next plan year. There's a couple of other trends that I want to share with you today based on what we've been seeing so far in the enrollment numbers. Across the board, generally speaking, it's about a 40-60 or a 60-40 split between broker-assisted enrollments and self-enrollments. It's interesting to see, and of course, it's going to vary market by market and carrier by carrier, but in general, what we've seen so far is that between 40 to 60% are using brokers, 40 to 60% are doing a self-enrollment. And one other major staggering fact that we've seen so far in analyzing the numbers across our issuers is that just about 90% of individuals are enrolled into a subsidized plan. Now, the level of subsidy, of course, varies for each individual. However, in general, we're seeing 90% of enrollees enrolling into a subsidized ACA plan. And this comes with the commitment from the Biden administration and the American Rescue Plan Act, and now more recently, the Build Back Better bill that is going through the government as we speak. So these are some tidbits to think about as you're sitting around the conference room table and continuing to refresh those dashboards to see how are my numbers looking. So stay the course and know that right after Thanksgiving, everything will shoot up all the way until the end of open enrollment.